So I apologize, I almost messed up the schedule, but I thought of all of the groups that would understand. Last night I was thinking, so I have to get my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old to daycare on time and then get over there, and so I just gave them a warning that I might be late, because as you all in this room understand, negotiating with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old every day proves much more difficult than the legislature. So. I was really happy to hear a number of phrases from the previous speaker around whole child. I would say whole family is a lot of what the governor thinks about. Equity, systemic approach. That's really what the governor thinks about when he works with Commissioner Casilius and Melvin Carter. I think I saw him with our children's cabinet. The governor's approach is always, how can he do the most good for the most Minnesotans? And when he thinks about early childhood, he really does think about that whole family. And I will take some of the credit for that, myself with young children and the many, many people on his staff, his senior staff, and throughout his staff that have our young children that constantly remind him of all of the challenges and the things that would help us and help our kids. And so I hope that that helps in his perspective when he thinks about all of Minnesota. Very specifically, the things that are in his budget around that, he has proposed $75 million to expand voluntary pre-K for Minnesota families. We know that the successes around all-day kindergarten for Minnesota has been phenomenally successful, and it's our hope that we can expand that to pre-K, expanding on what we were able to achieve last year to start that program. Making child care more affordable. He's asked that the legislature include $85 million to increase provider payments, provider payment rates, and to remove red tape for families and providers. One of the things that I heard loud and clear from many of our providers and families is that if you don't have the stability of having your child care, and if you have to do the paperwork and you get kicked off of your child care and then you've got to do all of those pieces, it is phenomenally difficult on your family, and that stability in the CCAP program is very much a priority for this administration. Strong families and strong futures. The governor is proposing a $31 million investment in the Department of Health's highly effective home visiting program. And and I know that Commissioner Casilius will probably talk a lot more about this. It's a partnership with that Commissioner Tinkerthal and Housing supports. This administration fully understands and appreciates the importance of housing and the success of our children and our families. And so the governor is proposing a program around Homework Starts with Home, a $6 million investment to provide rental assistance to Minnesota families so that we can make sure that our students are stable at home so that they can be successful in school. And it goes without saying that our investments and our support for our current K-12 program, the governor very much would like to see 2% and 2% on the formula this year, because we know that those investments in our public school education system are badly needed, and it's critically important to the future of Minnesota's success. So with that, I don't know if I have time. I'd be happy to take questions. I don't know if you want to move right on to the program. I will say Governor Dayton is feeling great. He and our entire staff, thank you. We're so thankful for the tremendous outpouring of support and love that has been received from throughout Minnesota, so thank you. Thank you.